Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and I'm a realtor in the state of Connecticut. If you're into all things real estate, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you never miss a new video from me. Today I'm actually doing something kind of different, and I got this idea from Nicole Connell here on YouTube, and it's basically just a get ready with me, talk about a real estate story kind of thing. So I have, well, at least one story, possibly a couple stories to tell you that's been going on lately that have been kind of crazy, to kind of give you a good look into what you might come across and get involved in when you are a real estate agent. And one of them is just not resolved. It's still an ongoing issue, but I think it's worth kind of talking about, and it's a crazy story that it's the first time for me or anyone that I've told the story to has heard of, so I thought it'd be great to come on here while I'm getting ready for the day. I might as well sit here and talk to you guys and kind of go over this story instead of just me sitting here rambling on and on. I might as well, you know, show you what I do on an everyday basis. Not that I'm a makeup expert. I have gone through a lot of different routines, and this is just the easiest for me, just the bare minimum. Gets me out the door quickly, but I still feel sort of put together. So yeah, I'm just going to put my hair back and look more insane. I can't believe that I am on the internet looking this insane right now. Something happened to my eye, actually. I sneezed and I don't know if I popped a blood vessel. I don't see anything, but ever since then it's been incredibly sore. And every time I turn it, it just hurts. And I don't know, it's just like puffy and red. I don't know what happened to it. But if you see that or notice that, then that is literally what happened. So basically I washed my face, and I usually like to go in with a facial moisturizer because my skin gets really dry. I have eczema, I have those kind of issues, and I noticed that my makeup does not go on as smoothly, obviously, if I don't put something on as a base or just moisturize my skin. So I actually have this Clinique moisturizer here, Moisture Surge 100H Auto Replenishing Hydrator. So this is the first time I actually, how do I do this? How do I become a makeup guru here? Anyway, so this is what the box looks like. It's the first time I actually, hello, focus, thank you. All right, this is the first time I actually purchased this product. I like it. It doesn't make me itchy or break out or anything, and it gives me the moisturizing that I need. So I'm just gonna put that on my face here, see if my camera wants to stay in focus, because honestly I've been using my cell phone for a lot of my days in my life because honestly this camera does not stay focused. And I don't know if anyone else has this problem with the Canon cameras, but I'm honestly having the worst luck with this camera. If you guys have any tips or advice, I did some research and tried to change the settings on this, but it still does it. So I'm just moisturizing. So the story, getting into real estate, the story I want to kind of go over or talk about is my crazy lender story. So basically I started working with this couple, when was it? I think it was maybe in April, yeah, probably around April, I started working with this couple. They called into the office, coming from Massachusetts, and they wanted to find a home in Connecticut to be closer to family. So basically, I showed them literally 2 houses, and the second one they loved. They were already pre-approved with the lender, and the company that they had their pre-approval letter from was reputable. I've heard of them before. I haven't heard of that particular lender, but I have heard of the company, and they're reputable, and you know, I've had other agents in the office use them before. So I was like, okay, great, like that's fine. So we put in the offer, it gets accepted. I do all of the steps that I usually do to get everything, ready and situated. So I send the contract over to the attorney. I sent it over to the lender, and they give me the okay, like they got everything. And I don't know if I'm just lucky, but I never had a situation where like I didn't get constant updates from the lender, and they always like communicated and always were readily available, and they weren't always one that I suggested. So this was like a little crazy for me. So basically we get through all the processes, like we do the inspection, the appraisal, all the things go through perfectly fine. And so we're at a good spot. Like everything went well, like they agreed to all the inspection repairs, everything was fine. So usually I actually go through with this, I had been recently going through with this Tatcha, what the heck is it called? The liquid silk canvas. It's like a facial primer, I think. It's a primer, oil-free primer, but I'm out, so we're not doing that today. But that's what I had been using, and it had been working pretty well. So the next thing I will go in with is I keep things in boxes. I don't know. It's the Clinique Acne Solutions Liquid Makeup, and I've been using this for a while. I honestly think it does help with my acne. I noticed that when I don't use it, I break out. I don't know. It seems like it should be the other way around, but that's just, what it is. So I'm literally at the end of the life with this thing, so I'm squeezing out the last of it. So I have to go and get some more of that shortly. But yeah, so I'm just gonna, put this on all over my face with my beauty blender, fake beauty blender, Those things are expensive. Like, who spends that much money on a freaking sponge? I don't really see a difference. I've gotten one before, and I've just used different brands of sponges, and honestly, it's like no different. So anyway, we get through all of the inspections. The seller agrees to the repairs. The repairs get done. We get the appraisal. It appraises at purchase price. We're all happy. Yay, yay. And, as we're getting closer to this, I'm like, okay, well, I like to check in with the attorney, see, like, the status of everything, make sure everyone's on the same page. I'm checking with the lender. I just want to make sure everything is, like, going the way it should, and there's nothing that I need to do to make the process easier. And I had been checking up, like, throughout the whole process, and I had gotten no sign of anything going wrong. So, like, if no one's saying anything to me and I'm checking in and I have no inclination that things are going wrong or that something needs to be done, then obviously I'm just going to proceed and do the things that I normally do. So I check in for the last time, just right before, a couple weeks before closing is scheduled, and I ask, the attorney, like, how are things going, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, well, we haven't been able to reach the lender for, like, weeks. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you couldn't reach the lender for weeks? They're like, yeah, we've been trying to, get some information, or they're trying to get the documents they need, blah, 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 from the lender, and they hadn't heard anything. Like, they could not reach him. They called his office, called his cell phone number, emailed him, reached out to one of the other lenders that was listed on the pre-approval letter. Nothing. So apparently the attorney and my clients had been in contact, and they've even tried to contact the lender, and they couldn't get a hold of the lender. But mind you, they did not tell me anything about this. Like, every time I've asked, like, how things were going and tried to get some, information on things, they said everything was going fine. And they had they said nothing about not being able to reach the lender or not getting what they need from the lender. So I'm like, okay, well, that's great. Like, it'd be nice for you to let me know these things so that I could try to help. So here I think that everything's going well and that the lender's doing his job and the attorney's doing their job and the clients are fine, you know, and I would reach out to them and check in with them, and they said nothing about, oh, like, no one could reach the lender, like, he went MIA. And of course, you know, when you call the lender, he has the mailbox that's full. Doesn't answer his text messages, nothing. It's like, where did this man go? Like, nothing was done. The title search wasn't ordered, nothing was done. And I'm like, what happened between the time where, you know, this whole thing started and now? Like, now we're nearing closing, and why am I just finding out that nothing has been ordered? They can't get a hold of the lender. Like, nothing. So, finally, they get a hold of the lender. And I guess they were having troubles with the loan, and apparently they, obviously my client, the applicant, for the loan, she lives in Massachusetts, obviously, right now, and she has a job in Massachusetts, and to move to Connecticut and to be farther away from her job, I guess that was like what they're saying was an issue with the loan going through, so they had to restructure the loan. Okay, so restructure the loan. That's what they said. Alright, so that's it for that. I kind of just blend it all in. Blend. Tried to get it all in there. Now I usually go through with, I've been using this Brow Ultra Slim, I guess pencil that kind of like goes up or like rolls up like this for my eyebrows, and I've been using this, oh god, for a while now that I just rolled it up and it won't go back down. But I find that this gives me the most control over the shape of my brows. It fills it in really nice, and then it has this like spoolie brush thing, kind of whatever, at the other end of it. So it'll like nicely smooth out your brows and make them look natural, not all clumpy and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go in with this brush here and do, sorry, I gotta move this closer because for my eyebrows it just needs to happen. So anyway, all I do my eyebrows, they say they're restructuring the loan. Okay, they came into an issue. They have to restructure the loan, blah, blah, blah. They said, you know, we figured out a way around it. We're going to try again, and we think that we found a way to make this work. So we're just trying this a different way, and I guess the attorney was now getting everything they needed to proceed. And they said, and the lender was saying, okay, like, we'll have conditional approval or commitment for the loan in like 2 days. Okay. All right. Well, at this point, I don't really trust much of what this guy is saying. I'm like, where did this guy come from? He literally falls off the face of the earth, says nothing, doesn't give us any updates, can't even get this loan to go through for this random reason, which I've heard of this reason before, but the distance that it was, I don't think that was really the issue with this. So basically, he says, okay, we'll have conditional approval, or did he say clear to close? I'm not sure. I don't know how he would have gotten clear to close that quickly anyway, considering he did absolutely freaking nothing. But anyway, he said he would have a commitment in 2 days from the time I just talked to him. Mind you, we just got back from, like, my attorney saying that they haven't heard from him and blah, blah, blah. So, honestly, I wasn't really believing his story, and I knew that it probably wasn't going to happen. But I was like, okay. And in the meantime, obviously, the listing agent was like, what the heck is going on? Like, why aren't we getting commitment? And then, of course, I have no answers. I'm like, I don't know. Like, we can't even get a hold of this freaking guy. And obviously that makes the listing agent and the seller really uncomfortable. Like, that's not a good sign that, the lender is not communicative and we have no idea what's going on. And I completely understand. I would be the same way if I was in their position. I mean, the seller had done like thousands of dollars in repairs on this house to make it good for my buyers. And now we don't even know if the loan's going to go through or, we're going to get commitment for the loan. So anyways, those 2 days pass, and guess what? We get nothing. I try contacting the guy. We can't get a hold of him anymore. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, you only hear from this guy, once in a blue moon. Like, even if you call him every day, he just doesn't return your calls. He doesn't answer. It's like he falls off the face of the earth for a few days, and then all of a sudden he reappears and he has no answers for you. Is basically what happened. So we get nothing. And basically he just kept promising me and my clients and everyone. Okay, hold on, I'm getting a call. All right, well, where was I? I just got a call from my coworkers, so we're working on a deal together, so I wanted to answer it, obviously. So I have literally one eyebrow done, and now I have to do the other one. So I don't actually know where I was with the story, but I think where I was basically he was playing it off like nothing, would go wrong. Like, he just had to figure it out. But like I said, he was just really hard to contact or get a hold of. So naturally, the listing agent and the owner were very, upset, really nervous about it, and pushing me for answers, but I didn't have any answers. No one had any answers. The attorney didn't have any answers. I didn't have any answers. My buyers didn't have any answers. So we kind of were just like waiting for this guy. And he kept saying like, okay, this day it'll be done. Oh, this day it'll be done. And it was never done. Like, it was either not done and he had some other excuse, or you couldn't get a hold of him. So like, I felt really bad for the seller and the listing agent, because obviously they're like, well, the listing agent was like blowing up my phone asking me what was going on, what the status was, when we're going to close, when we're going to get commitment or clear to close, like what the heck is going on. And so yeah, like nothing was happening. Like, weeks were going by. No response from this guy. No answers from this guy. He was just saying it was like a really difficult file to get through, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, why didn't you say this when you were having difficulties with this file? Like, why did you just let it go on thinking that everything was okay? Like, making us think that everything was okay when you were having issues. Like, all you have to do is be honest, so we at least know. Like, here I am for weeks thinking that everything's fine. And in the meantime, like, things are far from fine. But here I am telling the listing agent, like, yeah, things are progressing, when it literally isn't, because I just didn't know. So anyway, we get to the point where, the listing agent's just completely fed up, and I totally get it. And I was fed up, my clients were fed up, the attorneys were fed up, everyone was fed up, let's just put it that way. Everyone was fed up with this lender. Because you couldn't get any answers from him or any of his coworkers, nothing at all. And he just kept prolonging things and not giving us answers and stringing us along for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So finally, the listing agent calls me, and he's like, what the heck is going on? And I'm like, I don't know what the heck's going on. I wish I could tell you what's going on, but I have no idea. So apparently, I told him what he was saying. The only information I got was that they're having issues with my client's distance work the distance between my client's work and home, the home they're going to purchase. So basically, he, I guess, had a friend that's a lender, and he reached out to him and explained the situation a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't know all the details. They're my clients, not his. So he reached out to his friend who's a lender and kind of described what the other lender was telling me and said that that shouldn't be an issue. We do that all the time because we found the distance between the two, and they said that they do this all the time. That can't be the reason why it's not going through. The listing agent says, like, hey, like, would your clients be open to possibly switching the lenders? Like, my listing agent will wait for them to, you know, go through that process if we know that we have someone who's reliable, who we can contact, who's going to tell us exactly what's going on. Because after all this time, like, the seller did all this work for my buyers. My buyers still want the house. Like, everyone feels the same. It's just that this lender kind of screwed us over. So I basically asked my clients if they're open to reaching out to this other lender, and they were open to it. So, okay, so basically this is what I'm using next. It is the Bare Minerals Strengthen and Lengthen, I think, mascara. So I just started using this. I like it, kind of like it. I don't know. I think it kind of makes my eyelashes grow for some reason. So what I don't like about it is like the bristle here is strange. Like, it's like flat. It's only on one side. If you could see that at all. But once you figure out like how to use it, it works pretty well. So I'm just gonna go in and apply this mascara. Okay, so I'm just going to apply this. And so my clients, they reach out to this new lender, go through, you know, a bunch of questions and say that, you know, they could try to go through the process and they don't think that there'll be an issue and that they could get them the loan. So I then go tell the other lender, like, hey, since we're not hearing from you and you're not giving us any answers and it seems like you can't get the job done, my clients want to use another lender. So, really? So my clients reach out to the lender, they go through everything, they do the application, blah, 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 go through the whole process again. And meanwhile, I got a text from the other lender saying, hey, like, okay, if your clients want to use someone else and they think they can get the job done, then fine, like, they can use someone else. And basically just gave up. And so that's kind of where the story ends. We're going through, I just got conditional commitment from my clients from that lender. But the house, it still didn't close. Like, it was supposed to close the beginning of June. It is now July 14th. We still haven't gotten clear to close, but I think we're doing well. I think that we're going to close by the end of the month, hopefully. The other lenders now have been very responsive. They've been giving us updates throughout the entire process, unlike the other dude. And, yeah, so you're going to have to stay tuned to find out what happens with this crazy deal. But let me know in the comments below if you ever had an experience with a lender like this and what you ended up doing. Did it, like, basically end the deal? Did you do something similar to my situation? Do you usually refer your clients over to the same lender? Like, what do you do? Like, what experiences have you had? I'd love to hear your stories and just see, you know, what you have to say. So I'm just gonna finish this up and then close off when I'm done, so you can see this beautiful finished product that is my face, I guess. Alright friends, the last thing I'm going to do is go in with my Hula Benefit bronzer right here. And as you can see, I get many things. Like, I test things out, see if I like them first. This has lasted me a long time. I hit pan already, but there's still some left in here for me to use. And this lasted me a long time, even though it's like the mini size, so whatever. It's cheaper. It still lasts me a long time. I figured out if I liked it or not. I do, so I'll repurchase it. So I'm just going to apply this. And if you hear noise, that's my dog in the background. She always has something to say. So yeah, basically that is it. Let me know, tell me some of your stories about lenders or any real estate stories at all down below. I'd love to hear about them. And that's pretty much it. That's my everyday kind of like makeup routine that doesn't take me forever. And I still feel halfway like a human. So yeah, that's basically it. This is it. There we go. That is it, people. Nothing crazy. This is just what I do. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Give me some of your recommendations for videos that you want to see in the future from me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up this video and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I'll see you next time.